Hi everyone and welcome back to our Saving Christmas series. This series, if you don't know what it's all about, is the making of and tutorial of how I made my Saving Christmas game that I made in about a week of it before the Christmas release. It's a free game, you can download it right now in the description below. All the assets for that project are also in a link down below too. And you can follow this series along, and I'm rushing through it at a fair pace. I'm not going through explaining everything, but essentially we're taking a year's learning. So all the stuff we've learned over the year, plus a few extra couple of bits to create this game. So far we've got most of the gameplay in. The last thing we're going to do for the gameplay part, I think it'll be the last part anyway, is make it so we can collect these presents. And when we collect them, we'll eventually go into making a UI element, which shows the presents being collected. But for now, let's just get them so we can pick them up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix something with the camera. And that is like, you just saw it there. When I move Santa behind an actor or an object, the camera sort of tucks in to make up for that difference. So if I go behind here, for example, it gets tucked behind the environment. So what I'm going to do is go onto my Santa character. And I'm going to click on my spring arm. Okay, and on the right hand side you'll see camera collision, and I can tell it to not do a collision test if I want it to. So if I tick that off, that should now stop it from doing that effect. So if I can now walk past goblins and it not do that effect. Same way I can walk around here and not make the camera jolt between two positions. Okay, so that's the first thing. Next, I want to make it so I can collect all my presents. So I'm going to go into my presents thing. And we need to tell this capsule component to overlap actors. So I'm going to go into the collision and expand the collision preset and change it to custom. And I tell on the pawn to overlap the pawn. Hit compile and close. No, not close, sorry. So with that now on overlap, I can then do begin overlap. You'll see actor begin overlap. So this other actor will be a pawn because we just determined that only pawns can overlap it. But we're going to check whether or not it was the player that walked over it. So go equals equals, and we're going to get player character. And if this is true, it will go through a branch like so. So to collect it, we're going to make a little simple animation, and we're going to do basically what we've done for the spawn, but we're going to give it a bit more welly basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically copy and paste all of that except for the move and paste it over here. Play. So on this timeline, we're going to name this one collected animation, and on there we can open it up, and everything else is the same essentially. So the spin float I'm actually going to decrease from 3 to 2. Actually, I'll do 1. And on the scale float, I'm going to leave it the same, but we're going to reverse it. So the first one here is a scale value of 1, and the second point is going to be a scale value of 0. You compile, go back to the event graph. So when it's collected, the spin is going to spin it 360 degrees around, and we're also going to set its relative scale to basically shrink. I'm also going to tell it to move. So go back to your timeline, and we're going to add another float track, and this is going to be a move float, or position float, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to add a point at 0 and a value of 0. And I'm going to shift click again, and the time for this is going to be 1 second, and the value for this is going to be let's do 400. Okay, and if I move that out, you can see it happening there. Actually, let's change the time 0.5 so they're all the same. Might keep it simple. So the move float we're going to do is make it rise up into the air, so it sort of levitates up. So on this mesh, we're going to go out again and set relative location. And the location here is going to affect just the Z. So split it open and move float here. Drag right across to new location in the Z. Hit compile. And let's see what it looks like when we collect a present. So let's go over to our present. Actually, to make it simple, let's just put a present right next to our player. Play. So it kind of works. I think I made him go a bit too high. So let's make him not go as high. So let's go into here. And on move float, we'll change this one here from 400 to 200. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, not too bad. Let's do that again. Let's see what it looks like when it's moving, because I think we have to tell it to stop moving as well. Come on. Move a bit more than that. I mean, we can do. I mean, it looks fine, but let's pick up another one. Let's go over to the one that's actually in our world. So, you have to complete this platforming puzzle. Oh, we've got an area there we need to fix. Yeah, no, I think that's all right, actually. We can leave it like that. It's quite nice. So let's just fix that little area we've got back here. Let's see. Let's add some rocks to this. I've got another little one here. Like so. I'm just going to put another rock on top of it to stop it from allowing the player to jump up and out of the world. Yeah, I quite like that. That looks quite nice. And click this one. Yeah, cool. I like that. So we'll take that. So what we're going to do is need to register when we've collected one and store that as a value. So when it reaches 3, we can end the level. So to do that, we're going to go into the game mode, and that would be where did I put the game mode? No, where did I put it? Have we got a game mode? I don't think we have. Do we have another game mode? Okay, we don't have a game mode. Let's create a game mode. So new blueprint class, and we'll choose a game mode base, and we'll call this one my game mode. Okay, so in your game mode, we need a new variable, and this will be presents collected, and that'll be an integer. Event. We can close that, and we'll close that. And when we collect a present, so find your present character. On the event graph, after we've collected it, we're going to tell it, so on the finished here, we can tell the game mode to add one to its presents collected. So first we need to get the game mode, so right click in empty space, get the game mode. And then we need to cast to our game mode. My game mode. And from there, we're going to get presents collected. And so we just increment it. And hit compile. Okay. So once we've got that, we need to set that game to use our game mode. So we're going to edit, project settings, maps and modes, And the default game mode, you want to change from game mode base to my game mode. Everything else can stay the same, except for default pawn class. You can change that if you like to your center. And we can close that, hit play, and you can now collect all those presents and it will output it into the game mode. And we are done for this part of the series. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to see the next part, which I'll probably start doing the user interface for that, so join us in the next part where we work on the user interface for the game, and you can watch that part right now over on the patreon.com/Ryan Laley. Big shout out and thank you to all my patrons for their support over the last year, and I can't wait to show you guys what's going to be coming in 2020. Thanks again all, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.